15-year-old Jordan isn't much for excuses.
Attaboy. There you go. There you go. Look at that.
He could have plenty of them, born with severely shortened legs, without several fingers, and in foster care.
I plan to play this game.
No, Jordan is all about a challenge and beating the odds.
I kind of like to try new things, like golf, for instance. Trying that out, it's pretty fun.
Attaboy.
Jordan also plays basketball, is quite the jokester, and oh yeah, there's this. You see, while life hasn't been easy for Jordan, his attitude is what makes the difference.
Well, some people think it's hard, but I say, go do it, try it. You know, it might be hard, but hey, at least you can say that you tried.
Turn away, turn through. Attaboy.
It may be different, but hey, I can still do pretty much things everybody else can do.
Jordan is getting ready to start high school. He plans on learning to drive just like his classmates, and one day wants to become either a lawyer or an electrical engineer. But there's one big part of his life still missing, a family to share it all with.
Be nice to have like my own family again. Somebody that loves me for who I am.
And he's hoping that family is watching right now.
Oh, I think he should just enjoy life.
And now, what do you think about the future?
Bring it.
Look at these three beautiful little sisters. Can you guys wave and say hi to the camera? They are currently in foster care, awaiting adoption, awaiting that permanent family that so many of us have taken for granted. We want to get you that phone number right away because we are trying to raise money and we want to get every single phone ringing during the 10 o'clock news. That phone number, 801-237-CHILD. Now we want to show you these three little girls' story. They are currently in foster care. They're not going to spend a lot of time together because some of them are in different foster homes, but they're hoping to be adopted all together.
The saying, good things come in threes, definitely applies when it comes to these sisters.
Brianna!
Meet 10-year-old Brianna and newly 9-year-old twins Brittany and Angel. The girls may have all the same beautiful brown hair, but they have very different personalities. Brianna describes herself as calm.
I like to swim, like to ride my bike.
Brittany is cautious. And Angel, well, she's carefree.
Go ball!
Right now, the girls don't get to spend much time together. Brianna is in a different foster home than the twins, and they desperately miss each other.
They're having a really fun time.
Being apart is the pits, and they want to be adopted together.
That would be awesome if that happens. I want to get adopted by the family. Can you guys adopt me?
Besides each other, they say a family who will love and care for them is all they need, and they have triple the love to give.
I'll tell them I love them and you're nice and help us play.
How can you look at those girls and not want to pick up the phone right now? Okay, I want you guys to say please call on the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Please call.
For about 4 years, we were trying the traditional way.
Melissa and her husband, before they were even married,
And when biological children weren't coming, we knew we needed to move into adoption.
had talked about adoption.
I have 4 cousins who are all adopted, and I've seen what a benefit that is to them and what a blessing they are to their adoptive families.
So they went to foster care.
I can stop very well.
Yes, you can.
And found Ryan.
Oh my gosh, he is a ball of energy. Poor dog.
And Anastasia.
We adopted her from the shelter a couple months ago.
What was that first day like?
Overwhelming.
I want to talk to Mom.
You guys can share your mom. Now it just feels like they've been part of my family forever and ever.
Oh, yeah?
I have a lot of people ask me if I have children of my own.
Okay, let's make circles. That's a great idea.
Of course, these are my own children. I'm not their biological mother, but they are mine.
So, hey, Ryan, what's a family?
A family's like your family is going somewhere and stuff and staying home and watching shows. Someone who loves you.
Someone who loves you.
You're gonna make it like a snake. Snake, snake, snake.
I get asked a lot if my children are okay having a white mother, even though they are African American. And of course they are. They have a mother who loves them. Does it matter what you look like, if you look the same or different?
No.
And that's what they know. There weren't people in line wanting to adopt my children. There were people who would care for them for a while and then sometimes send them back because they felt like they behaved incorrectly. And we were the ones who stood up and said that we were going to love them regardless, and we were going to be their parents no matter what any of us looked like or acted like. We were going to come together as a family.
What is it like in our family?
Happy.
I know that it is so early. It's definitely an early wake-up call for us too, but this is a cause where you can really make a difference in a child's life.
And I think what's so crazy is to think about, you know, being raised in a family that was so close, to take that away, to not understand that, you know, to give these kids the life that they really, really deserve, I think is what's so important in Wednesday's Child.
Yeah, and there are so many myths and facts surrounding adoption. We wanted to just break it down for you, give you the facts coming from foster kids themselves.
I'm okay with just a mom. Or just a dad. I don't have to live in a mansion.
Adopting a foster care does not really cost anything.
Everybody knows that 2 is better than 1.
I can't feel an empty nest.
I'm just a kid. Over 104,000 children in foster care are waiting to be adopted. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. We're waiting.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
So many children waiting to find a permanent home here in Utah. This is Kathy Searle. She's the director of the Adoption Exchange here in Utah. You work so hard to find these kids permanent homes. What's it like for a child when they first enter foster care?
You know, most kids when they come into foster care are just, it's traumatizing. I mean, they're away from their family, from all the things that they know, their own home, their bed, everything. It's just, I think it's just traumatic for them.
What's the response when they finally get into a permanent placement?
You know, it makes all the difference. Most of the kids that I've worked with, the main thing about being adopted is that they don't have to go from place to place to place. The moving around is really, really tough on the kids.
Energy and giggles, laughs and love. Think how much life these 6 kids could bring into your home.
Hey!
Meet Sweet Shyla, age 4, Little Elena, age 5, Spunky Chula, age 6, Reserved Anthony, 9, Beautiful Isabella, age 11, and Handsome and Polite Elias, age 12. Although these kids share the same genes, each has a very different personality. There are a few things they have in common. Most say their favorite food is...
Say spaghetti.
Spaghetti?
All love ice cream, and all wish they had a permanent family. They are currently split up into different foster homes.
It's kind of tough.
It is? How come?
Because I don't get to see them every day.
The Adoption Exchange believes once you see these kids together and how strong their love for each other is, it's clear they need to be adopted into the same home. And while that may seem like a big commitment, you'll get 6 times the love in return.
Jennifer Stagg is joining us now, and she has one brave young man out there with her. Jen?
Yeah, Tanya and Scott, brave is one description, but fearless is the one that comes to my mind. This is Mike here. Mike is currently in foster care, waiting to be adopted. And we were talking a little bit earlier. What do you think it would be like to have a permanent family again?
Well, I've been in one before, and I think that that it'd be the same, but hopefully that it could be a little different and it could be permanent and that everything would work out.
What's it like knowing that that family is out there somewhere and you guys just haven't found each other yet?
Well, it's a wait, and that's all I can really say. I can't really hurry it up or slow it down.
Okay, well, it doesn't happen on his timeline, but hopefully we can speed it up and find him the family that he is waiting so desperately for. Take a look at his story. We sent him to Camp Williams. He wants to join the military someday, so we sent him to Camp Williams, and they sent him over the edge, literally.
Just been a life goal.
Mike is an active and fearless 15-year-old.
This is freaking crazy.
Who seemed to relish in the opportunity to rappel with members of the National Guard.
Not bad at all.
Mike has an infectious smile and loves to have fun.
Now you're gonna jump out and go, Mike. Jump and go.
If you hope to keep up with him, you better be in good shape. He loves all sports and enjoys mountain biking, swimming, and boating.
I really like wakeboarding all day. Or water sports or tubing. That's really fun.
Mike originally entered foster care at the age of 3. Unfortunately, after experiencing years of family stability, he re-entered the system 2 years ago.
Be grateful for what you have.
He believes his experiences have made him stronger.
Yes, emotionally probably, and I can deal with stuff a little bit better.
Mike is a young man of few words and is a little reluctant to sell himself, but he knows he will find his family and why he would love to find a permanent home.
I would like it because it's a family I can go to, even like if I'm going through hard times or if I just want to visit someone that's always there.
Now, as we mentioned, our goal today is to raise money for the adoption exchange and also to find kids like Mike a permanent family. This is the kind of family that this impacts. This is the Gerlach family, and this is little Clara. Hi, Clara. Clara is a big fan of princesses, and she got all dressed up just for her interview today. How has adoption impacted your life?
It's changed our lives completely. We went from, wanting kids for about 10 years we tried, and it didn't work out. And then, there's such a richness that's brought to our family from each one of our kids. They're all so different and so wonderful. We can't imagine loving them any more than we do.
Okay, that happened 4 years ago. Overnight, they found out that they were the parents of this beautiful little girl. Let's take a look at their story.
Rob and Kim Gerlach's family began not in the traditional way.
So we tried for about 11 years to have kids, and it didn't work.
It started with a phone call.
Out of the blue, one day we got a call from a distant relative of Kim.
Would they adopt a relative, a baby girl, about to be taken by the state?
Okay, we're ready to go. And they said, well, is Rob on board? I said, well, he will be, so.
It was one of those moments in your life where you leap first and figure out later why it's right.
Clara opened the door for foster care adoptions. First, Ecom.
I was taking care of the family.
Living in difficult circumstances, he'd been taking care of his siblings.
He would go mow people's lawns so he could go to the convenience store and buy bread and milk for his brother and sister.
And then Ibrahim, originally from Sierra Leone.
And we went from a toddler learning to potty train to a house with 2 teenage guys in it wanting to learn to drive and dating, and it was a huge change for us.
Do you want to cut the deck? No. It's been really fun to watch our kids bond together and to, even though we've got a little girl and 2 big boys, they still have a bond.
Well, family to me is like having a place to stay, like having someone care about you, bonding with you.
Sorry, it makes me a little emotional. People will come up to us and say, man, you guys are heroes and we can't believe what you've done for these kids. And it makes us very uncomfortable all the time because it's not any nobility that has made this happen. It's the way our families come together, and we have gained at least as much out of this as anything that we could give to these kids.
And these kids are my kids. They're, you know, they came to us through a different way, but they're my kids.
Does it feel like a family here?
Yeah, it does. A lot.
Oh!
Why'd you do that? Oh my God!
This is my place, and this is where I'm gonna be.
Everyone in the studio here is kind of tearing up after seeing that beautiful story with that beautiful family. Adoption touches so many of us.
The role of Big Brother is one 11-year-old Orion takes seriously.
You need it on.
He carefully watches over 8-year-old Levi, who is severely autistic, which is a lot of responsibility for a child. But Orion is not your typical child.
I have a whole life ahead of me, and there's going to be different opportunities, and I'm going to learn how to do more things.
That's how Orion responded when I asked him about foster care. He and Levi have been in care for about 9 months, and they hope to be adopted together.
A family that would be able to take care of Levi and I at the same time. I want to be adopted because I just get to meet new people and see what their life's like.
Levi is sweet and fast. Orion is patient and has a kind heart, and they are ready for a permanent family.
Do you think you have a lot of love to give to somebody? Why?
Because I'm just that kind of person.
We couldn't agree more.
We're raising money and awareness about adoption. And Jennifer Stagg has the story of one little girl and her remarkable family. Jen, it's stories like these that are at the heart of why we're doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Deanie and Mike, Karen, her story made headlines because it was a terrible story about abuse. But her story didn't end there, and she's now with a family that loves and cares for her.
She is just such a sweet, sweet little girl. She's definitely given us so much more than we've given her.
As a police officer, Earl has seen firsthand what kids like Karen have been through, so he and his wife Tiffany welcomed her into their family.
One of the caseworkers said she had a placement for us and talked about Karen.
Although the already large Rose family was not looking to expand, they agreed to visit Karen in the hospital.
But we would go up and visit her, and the children would go visit her. We just fell in love with her.
Karen faced severe challenges and would need another 1.5 years in the hospital. Doctors said Karen would be forever wheelchair bound and would never speak or have the ability to eat. But the Roses were not deterred.
Bringing her into our home, it was about a week later, and she had a taco. And she has not wanted to stop eating ever since then.
Karen can now use sign language as well as speak both English and Spanish. She loves school, reading, swimming, and playing with other kids. And the entire family loves her.
It's made our children better. Other children they've been able to help us take care of Karen, and it's made them a lot more responsible, and they really enjoy taking care of them. So yeah, I'd say that it just had a really positive impact on all of our children, our whole family.
Karen is such a beautiful little girl. Joining me now is Liz Solis. She's the Public Information Officer for the Utah Department of Human Services. So many of these kids come from very abusive situations.
Yes, unfortunately, that is why a good portion of the children are in state custody.
Even though they do come from abusive situations, they are very resilient once they get into a permanent family. Is that right?
Yeah, in most cases, we've found that permanency is the best thing for all children. So whether it's being able to return to their home if that's possible, or becoming part of a family, a new family where they have permanency and safety, it's the best thing for the children.
It's pretty tough to watch 8-year-old Isaiah and not get a smile on your face to match his.
What do their feet feel like? They feel like claws, but they feel a lot good.
Yeah, they do. They're kind of tingly, aren't they? He quickly warms up not only to all of the birds at Tracy Aviary, but also to the employees.
I like these.
He is warm, open, and curious. He is also very bright and is able to pronounce and remember some pretty complicated bird names.
Jamaeus nova hollandiae.
And what kind of bird is that?
And condor.
All of this is remarkable for any child, but when you consider what Isaiah has been through, his resilience is all the more incredible. He has been in foster care for about a year and yearns for a permanent family of his own.
You could pick any family. What would you want it to look like?
American. I like to play sports. I like to talk. I like math. I like reading.
Isaiah's favorite color is black. He loves Mexican food and he would love to go out to eat and to a playground with his new family. He hopes that new family finds him soon.
I think today was great.
Let me tell you about this story. RJ is one of the children that we profiled last year, one of our very own Wednesday's Childs. When we asked him at the time what he wanted for his future, all he told us was a family that he wanted to be active in, and we are so thrilled to announce that because of Wednesday's Child here on KSL, that happened.
They're pretty cool. They do activities and do stuff as a family. They actually include me as one of theirs.
James and Megan had been interested in bringing a foster child into their family for a while.
But we were looking for a teenager who had, regardless of the situations, made good life decisions.
RJ, hardworking and respectful, felt like the perfect fit.
The first time he came for a full day was the 4th of July. And he came just for a visit, just to kind of see if we liked him and he liked us, and he just never left.
RJ's first visit with the Mayfields included boating, a party with extended family, and an almost instantaneous bond with the Mayfields' biological kids. People often ask Megan about their close connection.
And they said, well, how long do you think that took? And I was like, 3 hours. I mean, with the kids especially, it was very instant.
Yeah, and he's bonded with them very well. They get along. He's just the older brother that they've always wanted. So.
Yeah.
For RJ, his desire to make this relationship permanent hasn't come from a single moment. It's more of a feeling.
All the other families I've lived in, like, I didn't feel trusted, and I didn't feel like I could trust them. Here, I feel more welcomed and more loved.
It surprised me how quickly and how fiercely I came to love this kid. I mean, I wasn't there from the beginning of his life. I didn't see him take his first steps. I didn't get to hear him say his first words, but he's my son.
Okay, now you may think that someone else is going to call in, or you may think that, you know, your amount of money doesn't really matter, but every dollar, $1, $2, $5, $10, any amount that you can make and donate to Wednesday's Child goes directly toward these kids and getting them a permanent home.
I just want a family that'll love me and that I'll be there for them and love them as well and be a part of something great.
If 17-year-old Mariah could paint the picture of a perfect family, it would look pretty simple.
If God gave me a family, I would feel so blessed.
A family to care for her and who she can care about. A stable home, a loving environment. All things many kids take for granted, but not Mariah.
I've never had that family that loves you and cares about you just because and won't hurt you or love you because you're worthless.
Minimize the mountains a little bit, but put some more of that middle ground in.
Like this?
Exactly.
Mariah loves art, and for someone who has never taken formal lessons other than this one, her skills are impressive. Turquoise is her favorite color. She also loves science and wants to be a forensic scientist someday.
I haven't really done this before, beating up my brush.
Moving around from foster home to foster home for the last year has been rough, but Mariah is patient. She knows her family is out there. They just need to find each other.
I believe that God has sent me this way because because I deserve a family, because I want a family. There's a family for everybody.
We've been telling you a lot about the children who are waiting to be adopted, but what about the adults involved in that process, the adoptive parents or the birth mothers? We want to take a minute just to shed a little more light on their stories. Brenda Horrocks on the board of the Adoption Exchange, and you've adopted 4 children, and you have one of those that you adopted through the foster care system, yes, right? And then we've also got Christine Anderson, who's the mother of 3 children through adoption. Thanks for coming. And then Gina Gratz is stopping by, and you actually gave up a child for adoption, and now you're involved with a cause. It's a charity, Birth Mother Baskets. Yes. So you have a different perspective on the process and how it affects lives. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about adoption that we face right now?
That children aren't loved, but they're placed because of a wonderful choice that birth mothers and birth families give to them. It's all about love.
Well, there's a chance somebody out there right now listening or watching the program, hearing about today's focus on Wednesday's Child, is thinking, okay, adoption may not be for me, or maybe I haven't considered that there's a place in my home for one of these children. What would you tell them as to the benefits, the upside, the experiences that you've had from that standpoint?
Open your heart. Let those children in, let them touch you and grow, and don't put a limit on who loves your children. In my family, we're learning about sharing, and who better to learn from sharing than birth families and share that love.
Yeah, and I know in our family we teach that love multiplies. You know, and if you don't feel like maybe you're ready to adopt a child who's waiting, look around your home and look inside your heart. Do you have a little bit of love to share? Do you have just a little piece of you that you could share and let that grow and start that? And it's amazing the changes that can take place in your heart as you learn more about the children that are waiting to be adopted. You say that word love, and time again we hear these stories from these children, and they say the number one thing, they just want to be loved. Yes.
Hold it. Push. Wow.
Meet Dominic, 9 years old, a huge, disarming smile, also autistic.
Oh, so cool. I'm not for boring.
It may seem sometimes like Dominic isn't making sense, but the more you listen to him, the more you realize he is responding to you and his surroundings.
Sure. I'm a good boy. Do you think it's gonna get it? I'm the boy. Stop.
Oh, so close. Dom loves to bowl.
Oh, good job.
He also loves puzzles, the movie Cars, and playing games. Oh yeah, and winning tickets.
8, 9, 10, 100!
Dom is also currently in foster care, needing a permanent family.
Whoa, hold on.
And while he does have some special needs, he has more than enough love to give.
We've dedicated a day to Wednesday's Child.
Sure have. And Jen, that looks like the phone's, well, Rod's on one right now, but I think they've shut down for the evening. What's the final tally here?
Yeah, the total is $47,265. That is above our original goal of $40,000. So thank you so much to everyone who called in and donated.
All right, you 3 ladies should get some ice cream before bed tonight, right? And sleep in tomorrow.
And if you still want to donate, it's open on KSL.com. You can continue to donate through the evening.
Indeed.
All right, good
Have
job
a great
today.
night.
We have a caller. We have a caller. Rod's taking a call. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. All right, ladies, pressure's off.
Guys.